We are outside Nagzar. We are outside Nagzar village in Pernem in North Goa. The site for the Mopa airport, very close by, just over the hills. So a lot of sudden drastic changes happening here. This is hillocks by the side of a road. It's a tough terrain. Right up there, some kind of road project going on. So we are outside Nagzar as of now, right? And development is speeding by, so to speak. A very old temple. I am sure these places might have been unchanged for decades, if not centuries. So we were talking about this study by Biswarup Das, who talks about spatial development in Goa and how different parts of Goa have got developed unequally at different points of time. So it's a very rare thesis which most people would have not noticed. Thanks to a friend of mine, Mario Mascarenhas, who gave me a copy of it. So I have this thesis, and he was writing in the 80s, and his point was that in spite of the post-colonial changes, the post-Portuguese changes, these areas didn't benefit equally from development in those days. So now they are coping with this super huge project in their backyard. It's very hard to say what the people's views on it are, but some of them obviously are upset. There is a huge degree of uncertainty, of fear, of concern.
Especially land losers.
And some might think that it's going to spell something good for them, but there is always this dilemma where when it comes to your backyard, how is it going to affect you? I'm not one of those who believes that people have to sacrifice for development for a greater good, because it's always a small section which pays the price, and everyone thinks they benefit, but it need not necessarily be so.
Pays a price, pays a very heavy price.
Very heavy price.
Displacement, the remunerative compensation.
Yeah.
Exploitation of the natural resources. Water is being provided to the big projects, but whereas the common man goes without water for days on it.
Loss of a livelihood and loss of skills to cope with the change. So I'm not saying that they have a great livelihood now, but
and unkept promises. They should have been trained now to take up all the jobs and not be foisted with all menial jobs.
So I subscribe to the view that a developmental debate is widely open. What is development? What does it mean to people at the grassroots? Who benefits from it? Who are the guys pushing it? What is the political role in pushing a certain kind of development?
And especially when development involves the politicians buying huge areas at dirt cheap prices, and then farming and then selling off at huge profits.
So there is a conflict,
and then using the money to buy votes and perpetuate their hold.
Yeah. So there is a conflict of interest at every level in that sense. So it is very hard to put your finger on the pie, but increasingly that is happening. The documents are coming out. It's not that the documents are not coming out. People may not be aware of the debate so much, but I think in the last 30-40 years, particularly since the 80s, Goa has taken this debate to a very high level, and even the impact of mass tourism on Goa.
Go to this, man.
Come.
No?
Come. I'm always. Good question.
Where's the entrance?
The entrance seems to be from the big pillars that side. So
Which
anyway,
side?
there.
Huh?
Is it right there? Anyway, we'll shut it off here.